I've never seen a team deny a victory. No, it's always a loss. Here's the kick, and it'll be taken by the Gators at the goal line. Brandon James, the freshman from nearby St. Augustine, and he elicits roars from the Florida faithful as he takes the opening kickoff out near the 40-yard line. Brandon James, 5'7", 165.
And we saw this little guy break out against Tennessee when he almost single-handedly won that football game with his returns. He's played a little tailback, but you can see on the kickoffs and the punt returns, he is a weapon.
Ball is spotted at the 38-yard line. Here is Chris Leak. His 4th game as a starter in this series. He's 2-1. Leak steps back, gets a little pressure, pulls up, fumbles the ball. Recovered by Florida. That is the 5th fumble by Chris Leak this season.
Well, 4.5.
Okay.
That one was kind of questionable, right?
It was, yes. Oh, you're talking about Auburn.
Key to this football game, can Georgia put pressure on Florida, only rushing 4 people, maybe 5 at the most? They want to drop back in coverage, but they must have pressure on Leak. That was the key of why Auburn gave trouble to this Florida offense.
Loss of 1, 2nd down, 11. Billy Latsko is in the lineup. This is Percy Harvin, the freshman, in motion. Gets the handoff, goes left. We're going to see a lot of him in the backfield today. And Harvin is out to the 43-yard line. Let's give you the lineups presented by Applebee's. The last true freshman to start in this series was Chris Leak. He won his first game 4 years ago. Up front, Troutwine, Tart, Rissler, Miller, and Metter. Baker, Cornelius, and Caldwell, the wideouts. Deshaun Wynn and Billy Latsko in the backfield. And in his 2nd season, the head coach, Urban Meyer. 3rd and 5. Good protection. Leak finds the man open for the first down. At the 46-yard line, that's Andre Caldwell, who is playing his best football of the season in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's just healthier. The reason we saw that Alabama game. Remember, he had that little short pass and put into the end zone. You give this offense some space to run it with those 5 wide receivers or 4 wide receivers in the spread offense, and you know Leak will complete it, and protection was the key. They kept Latsko in. They had 6 people blocking and only 4 rushing, and that created the time.
That's a nice early omen now for Florida. They were only 1 of 7 in 3rd down conversions in that loss to Auburn. They're hitting 47% for the season. Here's the handoff to Harvin. Comes right. Somebody lost a helmet, but the ball does not come out. Defensively for Georgia, here's the way they'll line up. Johnson, Owens, Weston, and Quentin Moses, 2 outstanding defensive ends. The linebackers, Miller, Jackson, and Tony Taylor. And the secondary, Ramarcus Brown, Keelan Johnson, Trey Battle, and Paul Oliver. 2nd and 8. Head coach in his 6th season, Mark Richt. Caldwell in motion. Gets the handoff, sweeps, spins, and is down at the 40. It'll be 3rd down.
Ran that sweep from the spread, something that you will see this Florida team do a lot. How about this against Auburn? They rushed the ball against Auburn, Florida did, for 171 yards. 113 of those 171 were done by quarterbacks and wide receivers. That's the style of offense Urban Meyer would like to run. Wide receivers coming back in the backfield, snapping the ball, and running it from the spread look.
21 of 38. Leak back, Leak pressured, inside go. It's caught by Andre Caldwell, and that will be another 1st down. So 2 of 2 on conversions in the early going.
And Georgia changed up that time. Willie Martinez, defensive coordinator for Georgia, said we cannot allow that to happen. This time 6 people come on 3rd down. You're going to see everyone inside, 6 here. Here's the breakdown. You cannot let the receiver get inside when you're man-to-man. Inside, kind of a push-off, collision right there, but Asher, the true freshman, could not handle that one-on-one.
And here is the true freshman, Tim Tebow. Only 4 plays in the loss to Auburn. We'll see more of him today. And we'll see him do this. He is a bit of a factor.
You know, he came right up against the free safety that time and didn't even get off the track, because this guy, when he sets his eyes on where he's going, he does not deviate. He's tough. He's 6'2", 225 pounds, and watch as he goes right at Trey Battle. It was Trey Battle who dipped his shoulder lower, and Tebow, who ran right over the safety. Boy, that is just energizing for this Florida offense and their team.
Flag is down after the gain of 20.
Illegal substitution on the offense. Broke the huddle with 12 players. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Florida is the most penalized team in the SEC. Beyond that,
they're 119th in the country. You know anybody else? Even your school probably is 118.
Texas Lutheran, now they're 120. And, they got a big game with McMurray today. 1st and 15 after the penalty. It was Tate Casey who was in there. And Chris Leak is back on the field. Here's Harvin in motion. The option. Harvin comes right to the 11-yard line. Maybe they'll spot this at the 12.
You know, Vern, oftentimes you hear, talk radio or the writers kind of question a game plan. But you see Harvin right there, number 8, coming back in motion from the wide receiver. Then just kind of a speed option, very safe, pitch almost all the way. But after the game, Urban Meyer against Auburn, as he watched the tapes, he admitted, I did not use Tebow and I did not use Harvin enough in the second half of the game. He said, we will get them touches.
2nd and 8 at the 12. Florida loads up with 3 to the left side. Now 1 is in motion. That was Harvin again. Here's a reverse. They come right. This is Andre Caldwell. Gets a block at the goal line. Got it. Touchdown, Gators. Dallas Baker provided the block.
Reverse the other way. That's that spread offense that Urban Meyer was famous for.
Chris Hetland's extra point is up and good. 2 third-down conversions in the drive. They overcame a substitution penalty, and here's the touchdown.
Yeah, Percy Harvin, number 8, is the option man that could be pitched to, but watch Dallas Baker, number 81, right there. You know how long you have to hold the block on a reverse? Dallas Baker, the touchdown maker, is the guy that was the blocker on that one. Vern saw it, but it was easy to find. It was right in front of the touchdown.
Florida leads by 7. One year ago, Matthew Stafford was leading the Highland Park Scots in Dallas to a state championship. Now he's the starting quarterback for the University of Georgia. But how impressive a drive was that for Florida. This one out of bounds. Stafford, the quarterback for the season. He's had 4 starts. You see the interceptions. That's been a problem. He's 3 touchdowns, 7 picks. Up front, Shackelford, Velasco, Nick Jones, Adams, and Inman. Bryant and D'Amico Goodman get the start outside. Milner, the tight end. And in the backfield, Craig Lumpkin and Sutherland, Brandon Sutherland. Hand off, they slip it to Craig Lumpkin, and he's out near the 38-yard line. This Florida defense has been outstanding this year. McDonald, Thomas, Cohen, and Moss, the starters up front. Crum, Seiler, Earl, Everett are the linebackers. And the secondary, we've already featured Reggie Nelson, Reggie Lewis, Tony Joyner, Ryan Smith are the other 3. 2nd and 7. Left side, Earl Everett is up high to make the tackle. Mohamed Massaquoi, who has had problems with dropped passes, thus earned a demotion for this game, is on the field now. And out of the spread, Stafford, full blitz coming. Stafford goes right. It's caught by Mikey Henderson, number 27, and he is belted by Tremaine McCollum.
The Florida defensive coaches circled third down. They said, we got to get off the field. We've been doing a good job keeping them from scoring, but our offense is not getting enough plays. When you're playing zone, move up a little bit. When they catch it, make a tackle. It's exactly what Florida did.
So Gordon Ely Kelso is on the punt. 3 and out for Georgia. And Brandon James, who will occasionally light it up, is at the 20. Here comes the pressure. Ely Kelso has had one blocked. That was against Tennessee. James gathers it in at the 18. Out of bounds at the 26. Harvin on the field. Fake it to Harvin. Leak rolls out. He'll tuck it and run it. Gets a downfield block from Bubba Caldwell. And Chris Leak, who is not known as a running quarterback, to put it mildly, gets a nice play on first down.
Well, good for Chris Leak. I mean, you really have to admire. I mean, I played this position. I don't know if anyone can relate to having to come off the field when it's your team, your senior year, and watch the new guy go in there and make plays and electrify the crowd. But this guy has been true to his teammates and true to his drive to win a championship. And I really admire his whole attitude about this football season.
You see the numbers in the previous 3 games against Georgia. 4 touchdowns. He's yet to throw an interception against the Bulldogs. He'll play fake it again. Looks deep, sets up, crossing pattern. One-on-one, and it's overthrown. There's a flag that is thrown at the 35-yard line. Intended for Dallas Baker.
Yeah, Paul Oliver had man-to-man coverage that time, and the same play-action pass, Dallas Baker was going to come across, and then they ran the corner off the cross out, and Oliver grabbed him.
Well, lip readers are enjoying this.
It wasn't much. It wasn't a huge collision, but since the pass was so close, watch, when Dallas Baker goes back out to the sidelines, just that left hand grabs his right hand grabs Dallas Baker's right arm, and that's what was seen by the back judge. Phantom, Vern?
I didn't see it.
Well, he grabbed his arm just a bit, and I think when you're doing it right in front of that back judge right there, he sees it.
So you don't think phantom?
I wouldn't. If I was playing defense, I wouldn't like it. I gotta admit.
First down. Timeout. So with a 7-0 lead and moving the ball easily thus far, especially when this big guy has the ball. Florida timeout. At the top, and Tim Tebow on the field. Here's Percy Harvin, so it's freshman and freshman. There's the fake, and Tebow goes left. He just did miss the stiff arm, and Paul Oliver comes up and makes a nice tackle.
Pretty interesting for Georgia's defense. Last year during the bye week, Florida kind of pulled in their oars and said, we're going to go tight end fullback. This time before the Georgia game, the Georgia defense has seen a much wider attack. More Tebow, more Harvin, more spread. Florida feels they have an advantage with the spread. They put younger players on the field for Georgia in their nickel package. Georgia's defensive ends, Moses and Johnson, must become factors.
Chris Leak back on the field, as is Harvin. Here's a quick flip out left side. That's in and out of the hands of Dallas Baker. Probably should have caught that.
Yeah, but if he would have caught it, that would have been stopped for no gain. Paul Oliver read that play very quickly, and he beat the quick tackle trying to get out there to block him on the play.
Tate Casey comes on the field for the Gators. Gary mentioned that Billy Latsko became a part of this offense in this game a year ago. So also did the tight end, Tate Casey.
Absolutely. I think this is almost a must stop. The confidence of the Georgia defense is down. They need a stop right here to regain that swagger.
3rd and 7. Baker out of the backfield going left. 4-man rush for the Bulldogs. Leak in and out of the hands. It's incomplete. They do get the stop. Intended for Harvin. Asher Allen, number 2, defending.
I don't know if it was just enough pressure on Leak or that he felt a little pressure on his left side because he moved up in the pocket. A good throw would have picked up a first down, but I think just that extra 4th man. They were in a 3-man line. Georgia brought that 4th man, and that caused that incompletion.
Now, Mikey Henderson is back. He's got a couple returned for touchdowns. Eric Wilbur, with the exception of the blooper against Auburn, has had a good year. That blooper was a block punt, the big play in the game, I think. And this one goes into the end zone and will come out to the 20. Needs to last a little longer.
Hold on.
First down and 10. Matthew Stafford back. Deep right side, man coverage. A tussle for the ball. It's incomplete. Reggie Lewis defending on A.J. Bryant. Well, the whole UGA series with Sonny and Cecilia Seiler began in 1956. They've owned every one of them, and here are the percentages. UGA 4, 75%. UGA the 6th, though. That's a...
Yeah. UGA the 6th had Mark Richt, though. That's a pretty good combination, right?
Yeah, but they had Dooley in there, too.
That's true.
You know. And this, UGA's real name is... What you got for us, Lauren?
What you got for us?
Second down. Stafford fakes the draw across the middle. Number 1, Massaquoi. He hangs on to this one, and it's a first down.
Well, what happens when you get benched a little bit, huh? You come back, you don't get the starting assignment, had 3 drops the week before, you come back, get the attention from the staff. Going to be the skinny post right here, a little play action pass, and now you're going to see why number 7, Stafford, was recruited so hard. Watch a zip. Before number 1, the eraser, can get there, that ball is 15 to 18 yards down the field. Unlimited potential for Matthew Stafford.
Massaquoi, who was a teammate of Chris Leaks at Independence High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, hands this one off to Lumpkin. It goes right. There's a flag down.
Number 6, Lumpkin, the ball carrier. Penalty marker down.
Tony Joyner, number 19, defending. We'll see what happened here. Face mask. Whoa.
Holding on Georgia.
I'm sorry.
Yep. You know, when you're playing against fast, skilled athletes and you're trying to turn the corner against these guys, you have to be so disciplined not to stick that hand out there and grab.
Holding. Number 87 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
From behind, you think it's to the outside. Yeah, there it is, jersey. Boy, that doesn't take a lot of discipline. You're not supposed to grab the jersey like that, huh?
Martrez Milner, the tight end.
Brian Crum was the outside linebacker. The outside Sam linebackers lined up over the tight end all game.
So Georgia looks at 1st and 19. Matthew Stafford changing the play. Handed off to Lumpkin. They come left, and he picks up close to 5. Well, today there are 18 freshmen overall expected to start at quarterbacks. 6 of them true freshmen, and 3 in the Southwest Conference, although Tebow did not get to start.
Yeah, the Southeastern Conference right here kind of won all the recruiting battles because they had these 3 guys. I mean, I don't think, as long as I've been doing, I've ever seen 3 high-name, highly anticipated guys come into a conference that are as good as these 3 guys, and all have been doing as advertised.
You think old habits might be sometimes hard to break?
The Southwest Conference?
Southwest Conference, yeah. Half my life there. Here's a man open, and it's overthrown. Intended for D'Amico Goodman, and he had a step.
You know, I really like the game plan for Georgia. They're running the delayed draw from I formation. They're throwing from that, and then they're challenging Florida down the field. Anderson, freshman, was on coverage that time. You got one-on-one. Big grass field in front of you, and number 7 says, oh, that big arm didn't work on that one. A little bit too much pop in it.
3rd and 13. Four-man rush. They stunt. Stafford sacked. Got him at the 25. Derek Harvey, who has come on with gale force effectiveness here, gets another sack. That's number 7. for Harvey.
What is it allowed? It's allowed to move Florida to move Ray McDonald in and tackle. And then Harvey and outside. The other way, Moss comes around. If it wasn't Harvey, it was going to be Moss that time. This Florida front four changes games. They absolutely force you to change games. Now, Florida feels they can block a punt here because they're timing out the center snap from the center. When the center lifts his head, they go 1-1000 and go.
And they pull up this time and come back. Here's the punt, and it's taken at the 40. And the tackle made almost immediately. Martrez Milner, the tight end, number 87, who had an impact on that last series with the holding call.
Now Vern, can Quentin Moses and Charles Johnson, the two defensive ends for Georgia, match that from Florida's defensive ends? They have to do that.
Here's the handoff. Percy Harvin, number 8, the freshman. Well, let's see what Quentin Moses did on that one.
Quentin Moses, who broke out last year with all those sacks, speed guy to the outside. He's going to take on Latsko, turn it inside, and turn it into the help inside where Dale Dixon makes the tackle. You know, as a defensive end, you got to rush the passer, but you also have to turn those sweeps inside, and that's why what Moses did on that play.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Deshaun Wynn splits way wide to the left.
That's him way out there. Going to be a zone defense. That forces a zone defense from Georgia.
Harvin in motion. Leak under pressure. It's incomplete. That was Paul Oliver, number 8. Defending, it'll be 3rd down.
Boy, pressure again on Leak. That is exactly what this Bulldog defense needs. You know, they lost, you got to be honest, they lost confidence since that second half against Tennessee with all those points. A couple stops here against this Florida team, and that confidence comes right back.
Now, they were up 24-7 just before the half at home against Tennessee. Tennessee got a touchdown just before the break and laid a cool 51 on them. They then lost at home to Vanderbilt. Barely got by Mississippi State last week. 3rd down. Leak steps up. He'll run again. Looks for blocking help. He's denied the 1st down as Tony Taylor, number 43, made a secure tackle. It'll be 4th down.
Absolutely did. It wasn't number 15 running, and you knew number 12 running. You can do it now. A 3-man rush from Georgia. Chris Leak needs to give that a little more time. You're rushing 3. You don't have to bail out quite as quickly on that. You got 3rd and long. You need to hope, dependent on offensive line. You know, a sack doesn't kill you when you're on the 45-yard line. Should have hung in the pocket and really played out that play.
Time called, Mikey Henderson.
Yeah, I think Georgia only had 9 men on the field, maybe 10 at the most.
Jacksonville, Eric Wilbur. Had his first touchback of the year on his previous punt. He might have his 2nd here. And he does.
Wow.
Charles Johnson, I think, was the other participant.
Look at number 1.
Nope.
He's all over the football field. Not only does he play safety and that could have been called for sure.
Yeah, Johnson, I'm blaming him. He was the referee there, Remarcus Brown. So it was 1 and 11 with 99 intervening.
Reggie Nelson plays the deepest safety I've seen in a long time. 15 yards deep. Because of his speed, he can move way back and then erase those mistakes from that deep position.
There's the handoff. The ground game not effective in the early going here. Jarvis Moss, number 94, with a stop on Craig Lumpkin. We've reached the end of 1 in Jacksonville. 2nd down and 9. Matthew Stafford with Lumpkin and Sutherland in the backfield. Play fake. Stafford chased right. Pulls up, chased, and caught. He did get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard, but Gary, that seems to exemplify what we've seen. Well, they've got a 3rd and 7 here. Blitz. They toss it back. Oh, was that dangerous. Marcus Thomas was closer than Sutherland, the intended receiver.
You know, usually on this play, you look one way and turn back and fire the ball. Marcus Thomas was in a stunt to the outside. It was a called stunt up front. He just goes wide like this. Kind of an end game with Moss coming inside, and there, look, if that would have thrown directly to Sutherland, that would have been picked up. The Bulldogs dodged one there.
Another 3 and out for Georgia.
Head goes up with 1,001. Florida will go.
Now this time they've got the return on, and it's a fine punt by Ely Kelso. Brandon James at the 34 gets by the first tackle. Watch out. One man to beat. There is a flag.
Yep, early.
I caught myself saying there are flags. There is only one, and it's way back at the 37.
Only one is needed. Right now, Georgia's praying that it's on Florida.
In the return, illegal block in the back, number 36 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be first.
That's the second time this year, Gary, that we've seen a Brandon James touchdown on a punt return wiped out by a penalty. He went 89 against Tennessee.
It was called, I believe, on number 36, Nick Brooks. Last time against Tennessee was very marginal. I don't know if I get a vision of it from this angle, if I can see it anywhere. And that one I don't get it. Jarvis Jackson, number 45. Oh, yeah, there it was, right to the right side of the screen. Happened a little later. Jackson had a shot right there, but not quite fast enough. 36, just a push, a slight push from behind. But when an official sees that body cross a defender from behind and any kind of fall forward, he's going to make a call.
To the relief of the Bulldogs and their faithful, it's still 7. 3 men down for Georgia. They're showing a blitz look, and they are coming. Quick flip right side, good block. This is Andre Caldwell. There's a flag.
Well, I'm wondering if they called holding over there on that screen pass. Asher Allen, number 2, the cornerback, was locked up for that whole play on that one, and then there was a little pushing and shoving afterwards. Let's see which way this goes.
Holding, number 8 on the offense.
Yep, that's exactly what happened on the play.
The foul.
Percy Harvin, true freshman against Asher Allen, true freshman. Quick screen out there. Right there is Percy Harvin, just one side in. Now he grabs Allen by this jersey. You can see that hand right there grabbing him. No separation on the play, and as Caldwell goes around the corner, they call holding. Vern gave me the dot up here in the booth. He's like, yep. Easy call.
I love it when we agree. Makes this one much easier.
Much easier.
First down and 15. Dallas Baker in motion. There's the toss. Percy Harvin. Harvin, the highly celebrated athlete, bothered by a high ankle sprain. We go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. You spoke about Georgia's 2 big defensive stops and the confidence it gives them. Well, that was evident on the sideline. Defensive coordinator Willie Martinez telling his guys, keep putting your head in his chest. You look good. I love the communication between you guys. Stay low and keep it up.
All right, Trace, thank you. First down, the second down, and 11, a 4-yard gain. There's Quentin Moses, born and raised in the Athens area. Wanted to play basketball here. Jim Herrick, who was then the coach, said, you walk on, we'd like to see you play. He tried it for 1 year. And now, Urban Meyer was rushing down to call timeout, and he did get the timeout called.
Yeah, there was going to be an illegal formation called on Florida, and I think maybe someone up in the booth told Urban to call a timeout, or they would have got another penalty. Willie Martinez told us we need to work as a unit. They look like they're doing that in the game so far.
Second down, high snap, flip out left side, Andre Caldwell. And he's going to be short of the first down, knocked out of bounds at the 33. Leak out of the gun. Lots of time. Left side, dropped by Jared Faison, number 11. It'll be 4th down. Just one more note about this Georgia defense. They, in 3 weeks, They've gone from number 1 in the country in points allowed defensively to number 27. That shows you that the hangover from that 51 against Tennessee was enormous.
And the trip from the penthouse to the outhouse happens fast, doesn't it? You give up a lot of points like that.
Eric Wilbur on to punt. Henderson is back, number 27. This one returnable, line drive. Taken by Henderson at the 22. Out to the 27.
Return out to the 27-yard line.
I think I hit every one of those streets looking for the restaurant last night.
Well, you fortunately did not see the U-turn I made.
I know.
And fortunately, the local police department didn't see that one either. First down and 10.
1 first down in the game for Georgia all football game. Where are they going to find yards?
Danny Ware is in at running back now. Gets the handoff and runs into Brandon Seiler, and that's one reason they're not getting yards.
Yeah, you're right. The middle of this Florida defense. I mean, we talk about the end so much in the sacks, but Marcus Thomas and Brandon Seiler inside, the linebacker and the nose guard. These two guys right here. It's so tough to get to the linebacker because of number 44 right in front of him. You have to put 2 guys on number 44. Nick Jones, number 70, can't handle Marcus Thomas, and Seiler is free on almost every play.
Georgia has run the ball 8 times, 0 yards. Here's Stafford back, gets a good block on the left side, now comes out, sidearms it. Diving try, incomplete at the 40-yard line. That was Kenneth Harris, number 88. And it'll be 3rd and 11.
Mark Richt has a very calm attitude, and his team mimics it as this game goes along. 7-0 is not horrible. Inside again. There's Marcus Thomas. Watch it. Nick Jones this time is going to have to get help. Gets 2 guys on him. Jones slides, but they're sliding the protection to help on Marcus Thomas. One of the hopes that Neil Callaway told us, offensive line coach for Georgia, was they could handle Thomas one-on-one. So far, they haven't.
Here's Stafford pumps. He's going to be caught and dropped for the 2nd time today. Earl Everett. Georgia had given up sacks only 9 times coming in. Florida has gotten to Stafford twice. Dogs will punt.
Watch Danny Ware, number 28. He has to take on Everett. Takes him on too far back. Everett runs right through the tailback to make the sack. Coming right off the corner and linebacker, Everett runs right through the blocking back.
And right into the arms of co-defensive coordinator Charlie Strong. 4th down. Brandon James at the 35. Gordon Ely Kelso, all-time leading punter in numbers and yards for Georgia. This one returnable again. James at the 34. Another missed tackle.
Imagine that. Greg Madison, defensive coordinator, had to beg Urban Meyer to take this guy.
I was just thinking the same thing. Played at St. Augustine High. He's only 5'7". Brandon James, a local lad. 2nd big punt return today. This one for 26 yards, and it stands up. Leak goes deep. Caldwell wide open. At the 5, he's in for the score. 2nd touchdown today.
What a beautifully designed play off play action. You hold the linebackers with the fake in here, and then you get the guy in the middle of the zone right there. To Caldwell, ball is thrown not too high, puts a little air on it, but not too much, and Caldwell gets it.
Chris Hetland with the extra point. Bubba Caldwell with the touchdown catch of 40 yards.
He's healthy, he's experienced, he's got his speed back, and he knows to find the soft spots in the zone, and Chris Leak throws it exactly where you should. You don't want to lead him too far on that one. You just give it to him and let him go from there.
Chris Leak, 5th touchdown against Georgia in his career. Here is the kickoff. A pooch kick and a fair catch taken to the 39-yard line by Brandon Miller, the linebacker.
Georgia cannot make a mistake on this play right here.
8 seconds to go. And they'll keep it on the ground. Lumpkin out to the 44. Tackle is made by Reggie Nelson. And we have reached the end of the first half of play.
Coach, just 81 yards of total offense. What adjustments do you need to make?
We just need to make some plays. We need to block up front. We haven't blocked well at all. Haven't had much going on in the running game. Unless they played cover 2, and you better be able to run against that. But when they've loaded up the box, we've not run the ball well at all. We've got to protect, got to make plays.
We've seen so many quarterback changes this year. Will you make a change at the half?
Oh, Stafford's not the problem. I can promise you that right now.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach. Back to you guys.
14-0. Florida scoring on its opening possession. And then a mid-second quarter 40-yard pass from Chris Leak to Andre Caldwell. Joey Eos will kick off, and it's taken by Danny Ware, number 28. And the kickoff return goes about as well as everything else has for Georgia. A moment ago, Tracy Wolfson with Urban Meyer.
Coach, we saw Chris Leak limp off on that final drive. Can you tell us his status?
No, he should be fine. Dallas Baker has a shoulder too, but we need those two to play in the second half, and they're ready to go.
You controlled both sides of the ball. Will you make any adjustments in the second half?
No, I think we played fairly well on defense. Offensively, we just had a couple big plays. We're not playing very well on offense. We have to play much better.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
You concur?
Well, they put 200 yards up. I just think there were more yards out there. That's what Urban Meyer thinks.
Georgia has a first down now. The handoff, there's a fumble. That one is loose, and the Gators pick it up, and it is touchdown, Florida, Ray McDonald. In Florida's win over Georgia, Ray McDonald Jr. just scored. Who knows? Maybe there's a Sports Illustrated photographer here.
Well, it was Derek Harvey right here is going to step inside Inman's block, and that's what causes all the problems. Lumpkin gets it, but there's Harvey reaching out to swat that ball with his right hand and his left hand, and then Ray McDonald gets it on the second bobble and dives over. Nightmare scenario for the Bulldogs. Change the Gatorade formula in there, I think.
Circle around, lads.
Yep.
We'll stay right here. Eos. Danny Ware at the 8. And he comes out near the 30-yard line.
No, it isn't. But because he's a freshman, I don't know if Georgia can run that whole offense that you really need to move the ball against Florida. You know, Eric Ainge can run an entire college offense. Can Stafford run that offense yet? I'm not quite sure.
He'll open from the shotgun. Flips it out left side. It's caught. Mikey Henderson out of the backfield. Nice first down play. Gain of 12. There was a holding call on the kickoff return. And here are the halftime numbers, Gary.
Well, you know, for Florida to put up 200 yards and a half, I mean, they've been struggling for yards, this team. We've talked about it. And this is the #2 rated defense in the SEC in yards given up, Georgia. And as upset as Urban Meyer was, all of a sudden a 14-point manageable game turns into a 21-point potential problem.
Matthew Stafford. His 4th start of the season. 2nd in succession. Started and finished last week. Avoids. He's not known for his running ability, and he had a man wide open up at the 40, but kind of an off-balance throw.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford is going to really find out what it's like to go against a pass rush in the SEC now. He was going to let that ball go, but Brandon Seiler was right in the path of that throw. Comes out, expects to run, and then spots a receiver just a little bit too late to get it to him. I think it was Danny Ware.
2nd down and 10.
McDonald's in a tackle. Harvey's in an end. They're coming.
Stafford with time, goes deep, man open. That one is caught by Michael Moore, a sophomore from Fort Lauderdale. and a gain of 19.
Well, see, that's what protection, and that's exactly what Mark Richt said at halftime. Believe me, guys, it's not our quarterback. Now, I understand what he's saying, because if you can't block him up front, it doesn't matter who you put at quarterback. Give him a little time. Right there, he made a nice throw, nice touch throw.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Georgia has been across the 50 one time. This is their 8th possession. Here comes the blitz. Pretty good blitz pickup, but the pass behind the intended receiver, and it might have been tipped. Matthew Stafford committed early. Just to tell you a little about him, his mom and dad met while students at Florida State. He was born in Tampa. John and Margaret moved to Dallas, and he was raised in Dallas. Started as a sophomore at Highland Park High School. A year ago, 4,000 yards, undefeated, first state championship for that school since 1957.
Yeah, and he admitted to us on the phone that if Mark Richt wasn't the coach of Georgia, he would not consider Georgia, and that's because of his ties to Florida State.
Considered Florida State, considered Texas. Here's the safety blitz. Stafford rolling right, chased by Everett, and Stafford has to throw it away, incomplete. Well, he led that team to an undefeated season in the title last year. They're undefeated again this season, despite the fact that Highland Park lost 22 seniors off of that team.
Yeah, and Matthew Stafford seeing the whole package now from Charlie Strong and Greg Madison. You got guys coming from every angle. This time it was inside with Everett on a blitz. And, you know, Jarvis Moss, number 94, the defensive end, he was 20 yards downfield covering a back that time.
Greg Madison, co-defensive coordinator, Florida, shares those duties with Charlie Strong. 3rd and 10. From the corner, Stafford hit from behind. Did he fumble?
Yes, he did.
Did Florida recover?
Yes, they did. And Moss, the guy that was in coverage last time, comes around the backside and hits it out of his hand. And Derek Harvey, number 91, picks it up. Moss, again, I can't even stress enough, he was dropping 20 yards one time and then comes from behind on a rush this time and gets it, and there's the other defensive end, 91, picking it up.
There's a small irony as well. Jarvis Moss played high school football for Ryan High in Denton. Keyston Moore on the field from scrimmage for the first time. Play fake, leak. Lots of time. Tate Casey, the tight end, is open. Down to the 32-yard line.
Leaks pass completed to number 84, Tate Casey.
Well, how about the Florida defense today?
Yeah, just as advertised, you better be able to run it against these guys, because if that front four gets involved in the football game with that pass rush, there's really not a lot of things you can do about it. And when you throw it, guys like Ryan Smith, Reggie Nelson are all over the football field, and if they start causing turnovers on you, it gets to be a feeding frenzy very, very quickly.
And it's a first down after the 13-yard gain. Harvin brings it back near side. And he's inside the 20.
Harvin, the ball carrier.
You know, that almost looked like a mistake, but Harvin was trying to time that snap. But coming back, here comes Dallas Baker. He does more than just catch touchdown passes. Hurt his shoulder in the first half on that catch and still out there blocking. Remember when certain people questioned the toughness of the Florida team? Looks to me that this Florida team now has decided that they are tough.
You realize Deshaun Wynn
Touched it yet, has he?
has not carried the ball today. Here's Leak. Looks deep for Baker. And he has to throw it away. Well, we were here for the walkthrough yesterday. I know you had a chat with Urban Meyer, and it was implied, if not explicitly stated, that Harvin was going to be a big, big part of things today.
Oh, sure. I think what happened is in the week off, and in fact, Urban Meyer said he called Rich Rodriguez, head coach at West Virginia, to see how he could get his guys involved. And what he said, we looked at every guy who touches the ball and what they do afterwards with it. And he said, we have to get the ball to our playmakers. And Harvin, I don't care if he's a true freshman or not, is one of our playmakers.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Harvin's back there. Here's the option. Leak. Not much he could do. It was played nicely by Charles Johnson, number 99. Harvin from Virginia Beach, Virginia. You made the observation to me that he's a little larger than that guy from Southern California.
Reggie Bush, I mean, is it going to be part 2? He's got that type of ability. He was a running back in high school, getting used to the ball in space. Whether you hand it to him or throw it to him, he's a threat. And, you know, he's bigger than advertised. I think he is bigger as a true freshman than Reggie Bush was as a true freshman.
Had some issues in high school, was kicked off the basketball team, suspended as a matter of fact for his involvement in a fight. There's on 3rd down, Leak. Oh, batted down by Charles Johnson. So number 99 a factor in that one.
Really tough to throw this wide receiver screen if you don't touch the defensive end. And this time Johnson comes untouched on the play. Not even a wave by Troutwine right there. You've got to at least slow him down or you're not going to get that ball out there.
And so we're going to see Chris Hetland. Chris Leak goes to the sideline. Hetland, as we mentioned in the first half, 1 for 5. The only one he's made was from 22 yards out. And he was 13 of 16 a year ago. Nope, doink. 1 of 6. It's amazing.
I was reading the SEC preview magazine before the game, and he's picked 2nd team all SEC preseason. 1 field goal all season.
Bink. Here's Georgia trying to find something that will work offensively. 3 turnovers in the game. Stafford across the middle. Brandon Seiler defending. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. Florida's Percy Harvin and Tim Tebow lead a freshman class that is considered to be one of the best in the nation and also maybe one of the best ever at Florida. Before the season began, Urban Meyer handed out a card to each of the freshmen, and on this card there were 5 rings. 4 SEC championship rings, 1 national title ring, representing what the freshman class of '93 accomplished. He told them no matter how highly regarded they were, they haven't done anything for the Gators. So you haven't done anything yet, go out and prove yourselves.
All right, Trace, thank you. Here's Stafford back. And intended for Mikey Henderson. It's incomplete. Well, of course, that team won the national championship, and the Heisman winner was Danny Werfel. The coach was a guy named Spurrier. And 13 true freshmen have played in a game for this team this year.
Yeah, and not just played, I think contributed. And there's no way this team is controlling their destiny for the SEC championship without the true freshmen playing on this team.
And a true freshman at quarterback now, Matthew Stafford, in at quarterback for Georgia. 3 turnovers, last 4 possessions. Stafford.
Got a rocket.
You know, he can put it on the line, can't he? It's incomplete.
I don't know if he caught it, but it was thrown pretty nice. Happened right in front of Mark Richt that time. If he thinks he caught it, he can challenge it, obviously. Stafford's backing up. He feels the pressure all day. Throws falling to his left, but can gun it. There's no doubt about that. Puts it right there, and is that a... Yeah, that hit the ground, didn't it?
Yep.
Another drop ball for Georgia's receivers that have been such a problem in the past couple years.
And we are told that the previous play is being reviewed in college football. I think most of you know this by now, but we'll remind you every play is under review. And the 2 coaches each get 1 challenge per game. This is not a coach's challenge.
No, this one is, and I think this is good. The upstairs replay official needs to take a good peek at that, make sure it's a big first down for Georgia if the ball was caught.
Now, Michael Moore saying I had it, but I think this is the definitive view, and it appears, Gary.
Yeah, the ground helped him catch the ball. And it moved after it hit the ground, and in my mind, that's an incomplete pass. And remember, it was called incomplete also.
Here's the call from Steve Shaw.
After review, The previous play stands is called on the field, incomplete. It will be 4th down.
On 4th down, Gordon Ely Kelso back to punt. Gets it away, not particularly effective. Brandon James runs up and lets it go out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Quentin Moses, a 3.13 grade point average, and a 2006 Draddy Trophy semifinalist. And for Florida, the senior quarterback Chris Leak with a 3.09 GPA. He is a 2006 Draddy Trophy finalist. And that Draddy Award will be a part of the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame banquet at the Waldorf Astoria in New York on December the 5th. It is regarded as the academic Heisman. Here's a note. With 8:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, Deshaun Wynn gets his first carry of the game.
Yeah, first of the game. We saw him against Tennessee get 100 yards in that football game, but it's been Harvin and the wide receivers and not much of this I formation that Wynn probably runs between the tackles a little bit better, a little change. And, you know, rushing, interesting point in this game. Out rushing Georgia in this football game under Urban Meyer. 17 out of 19 times he's outrushed his opponent. All 7 games this year, Florida has outrushed his opponent this year. Play
fake, Leak lobs it out, caught by Latsko, and he is popped up around the headgear by Keelan Johnson, number 30.
4-yard gain on the play, hit by number 30 Johnson.
Well, if you want to watch the action when this Florida offense goes, it usually goes through the fullback. He's either hitting somebody or being hit. And that time he was the being hit guy.
We've gotten so used to these Georgia safeties over the last few years. Sean Jones, Thomas Davis, Greg Blue, among the hardest hitting defensive backs in college football. I think it's an element they've missed this year.
I don't think they're as strong up the middle, even at defensive tackle either. It's a different Georgia defense.
On 3rd down, Leak pumps and fires. Oh, is it picked off? Tony Taylor might have grabbed that. He did indeed, and that is the first time in 4 games Chris Leak has thrown one to the guys in red.
Right there, watch Taylor. He's going to be right there in the corner. He reads one guy, pushes out, and stays right in his area. He's playing space, not people. Leak thought he'd leave the space. He did not, came back and made a wonderful interception.
Tony Taylor's 4th pick of the season. Best field position to start a drive for Georgia today. Pass to Sutherland, the fullback. That's a nice start. Big play all the way to the 35-yard line. Reggie Nelson makes the tackle on the fullback.
Sutherland has been open probably more than anybody on the football team for Georgia. And more importantly, when he throw it to him, he catches it. Coming out, we've seen him on bootlegs. That was that ISO play and sliding him on the outside. One of the staples of the Georgia offense, and why when they're in I formation, they must run it a little, because that play is important to their offense.
Draw play on 1st down. Danny Ware, and a flag is thrown. This, well, let's wait.
Number 28, Ware, the ball carrier. Flag down.
Well, the BCS standings coming into today: Ohio State number 1, Michigan, USC, then a huge drop to number 4, West Virginia, and then you began, for the most part, a run of teams with 1 defeat.
You know, everybody says the biggest game left on the schedule is Ohio State, Michigan. I think the biggest game left on the schedule is every time USC plays, because about 8 other guys are going to raise their hand if USC loses.
And USC is losing right now at Oregon State, 23-10, 3rd quarter. And of course, Southern Cal has those 3 big home games against Cal, Oregon, and the Fighting Irish. Penalty, 5 yards, face mask, broken tackle. And Danny Ware slips through, picks up another 1st down. Reggie Nelson with the stop. Gain of 12.
Well, it was a combination here, okay? Turnover to get Georgia juiced up. 1st down, play action, safe pass to a sure-handed fullback. A penalty by Florida, and then you run the ISO again, and the only guy back is the eraser number 1 to save a big play again.
This is by far the most effective offensive drive for the Bulldogs in the game. Here's Stafford. Under pressure. Finally pulls up, fires, is caught inside the 5, and another flag. 2 of them are down.
Penalty markers down.
Did he catch his own pass initially? That's
sure
it.
is.
Yeah, he did.
You know, Reggie Nelson that time in the secondary was cleaning out people like he was just taking names and numbers and knocking them down.
Illegal forward pass. Number 7 on the offense. By rule, you can only throw 1 forward pass on a play. He received the ball and threw a second pass. Therefore, it'll be a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down.
All right, nice job of explaining it.
Yep, McDonald knocks it back to Stafford. Stafford goes, I don't want it. Can't throw it again and got nothing else to do, so he throws it again and gets a 5-yard penalty. On that play, Martrez Milner, the tight end, was wide open on the play for a touchdown, and Reggie Nelson, away from the ball, says, you are not running cross routes against my secondary. Keep your head up.
2nd and 21.
That could have been called unnecessary roughness, by the way.
Here comes the safety blitz from the eraser. Screen pass. This one might go for a ways. Back to the 13-yard line, Danny Ware. And let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim.
Vern, you mentioned USC was losing. If you live in a beautiful village or a town that's name ends with Ville, you're happy right now. This is Sammy Strouder, a 70-yard punt return for a touchdown. It's now 30-10. 7:31 left in the third.
Oh, Timmy, well, they've been living life on the edge here for the last 2-3 weeks. It's 3rd down here, 21-0. Stafford changing the play.
5 across right here. Looks like man-to-man, and Florida's coming.
Quarterback draw. Stafford pumps it up the middle. Touchdown! And the extra point is good.
Spread them out and check to see where's number 1. Number 1 isn't right here. Number 1 is over here. So he knows that he's got an opportunity with man-on-man everywhere. If he breaks the line of scrimmage, I can get there with space. Everybody's turned their head and get it in on 3rd and 6. A huge drive for Georgia after the turnover, helped by a penalty by Florida, and they're covered by a penalty from Georgia. We got a football game, 21-7.
One of the most highly prized recruits of a year ago. Here's Andy Bailey's kick. Taken at the 10 by Brandon James. And he gets out to the 23-yard line.
James with the return to the 23-yard line, brought down by number 46.
False start. The 2 quarterbacks, that is really hard. Remember we were in the LSU game, that happened repeatedly.
Yeah.
14 penalties that day against LSU. That happened again. Changing the quarterbacks has changed the rhythm, and there was a false start.
Before the snap, false start, number 63 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
7th penalty against Florida. Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville. Georgia and Florida, these bitter rivals, meeting here with Florida up 21-0. They were up 14-0 at the half. A fumble recovery. Returned for a touchdown by Ray McDonald, but just a moment ago, Matthew Stafford ran one in after Chris Leak's interception. Here's Tebow and the pitch. Percy Harvin, freshman to freshman, going left, and a nice job defensively of stringing out the play.
Yeah, Keyline Johnson that time, number 30, the safety, came up. We were talking about those safeties. So big for this Georgia defense and this run of great seasons for Georgia. And that time Johnson comes up and makes the tackle. You got to string it out inside, and you got to run from the secondary.
Keelan Johnson with the tackle, 2nd down and 12. Tebow will keep it. Nothing there. Asher Allen, number 2, and Keelan Johnson defensively.
Yeah, I think Drew Miller, his guard, almost ran right over him. He can run over the defensive guys, but when he gets knocked unexpectedly from behind, Drew Miller knocks him down, and Willie Martinez says, I bet we get Chris Leak, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Willie Martinez, the Georgia defensive coordinator. Charles Johnson, here's Chris Leak.
Yeah,
threw an interception last time out.
Can Quentin Moses or Charles Johnson force Leak into another bad throw?
Leak has to throw it away. 4th down.
Great changeup from Willie Martinez, defensive coordinator for Georgia. The expecting pressure. They drop 8, only go with 3-man rush. And he says that's the way to do it. There was no one to throw that ball to. And remember when Leak scrambled out before against a 3-man rush? He hung in there that time, and there was nowhere to go. It's first time in the stadium today I feel the excitement in this football game. The Georgia fans now believe.
4th and 10, Mikey Henderson. Averages 17.5 per return. Eric Wilbur. Poor punt. Line drive. Takes a hop at the 47.
Hit the leg of a Georgia player. I think it was Johnson.
It's a turnover.
Yep.
How do you do?
4th turnover of the football game. This is a killer. I think it was Keelan Johnson, number 30, that got shoved into the ball a bit. Watch number 30, left side of the screen right there. It's Latsko. No, hits him. One bounce before Latsko even got there. Got to get out of the way. Mikey Henderson is calling poison on the play. Get out of the way. But the crowd got loud, real loud, and Johnson didn't hear him.
And whom do you think recovered it?
Who was it? Number 1? Wow, he's all over the football field. He barely gets a breath. I was watching special teams yesterday when they were walking through every group they called out. He was on the field almost.
Georgia with 4 turnovers. Florida will have to use a timeout. Reggie Nelson. We've told the story before. His mom, Mary Lakes, in Melbourne, Florida, unable to travel to see her son play because she's battling breast cancer. I'll bet she's smiling right now. Wound up losing at 27-17. The last play on the touchdown of the last play meaningless. 1st down and 10. Leak pulls it back, comes right. Nice play. But Billy Latsko has to go down to his ankles. Can't hang on. Well, here are the remaining undefeated teams. This is as play began today.
Yeah, and what's happening with this thing right here? You know, this is the key one. All these guys down here are saying, oh, please, please, please.
And there are 12 teams with 1 loss among the group in that category. The guys wearing orange helmets right here and coached by that man. Chris Leak has missed 5 of his last 6, 1 of them intercepted. It's 2nd down and 10. Harvin goes right across Chris Leak. Leak comes out to the near side with Jamel Cornelius. He gets a block from Bubba Caldwell, and he is down to the 27-yard line to the 1st down.
Boy, the difference between these teams now it's just shrinking every time I watch a game. The difference between number 5 and 40 is nothing. 12 men in a huddle. They're going to get another penalty.
Violation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Well, I'm going to be redundant here. There are 119 teams playing Division I football.
Yep.
118 of them have fewer penalties than Florida.
Right, they're well earned by Georgia, this stat. Now they're 12 men in the huddle again, and they've got 8 penalties. They've been averaging 9 a game, and they're a little bit above their average right now. Heading for their average. They got a full quarter to go.
1st and 15. Keaston Moore, Billy Latsko in the I formation behind Chris Leak. And they try the reverse. It comes right side. Bubba Caldwell. Nice defensive play. Paul Oliver. 2nd and 13. This is Caldwell. On the sweep to the left side. He's going to get to the 25-yard line. Well, I saw Charlie Weiss, the Notre Dame coach, and they won big today, but he was in his press conference after the win against UCLA complaining about the fact that his team dropped in the rankings.
Yeah.
One of them he was upset with was Florida. He said, what did they do? They were home eating cheeseburgers.
Exactly. Well, they're in the SEC and they got a chance to win it, so they're going to be alive.
Here's Leak, right side. It's caught by Caldwell, and he is stopped at the 25-yard line, and that is going to set up a 4th down.
Let's see if Florida can kick a field goal, and looks like they finally do.
No, they don't.
Oh, it's spun out again?
No, they don't.
Oh, look at that.
High formation on 1st down from the 25. Stafford, little flip out to his fullback. Sutherland catches it. Nice run.
That's how Georgia started the scoring drive last time. Went to the fullback in the flat, the same exact play. Try to get that yardage off the line of scrimmage, play action pass, slip your fullback out there. Look at Sutherland turn and handle that ball. Right now, Mark Richt is going, if we could just find some wide receivers to catch the ball that comfortably.
Yeah, the wide receiver impact on the Georgia offense this year has been negligible.
Yeah, and in this modern age of college football, if you don't have playmakers at wide receiver, look at Notre Dame, USC, Tennessee, how can you make yards anymore?
About a foot, maybe less. 2nd in inches. Massaquoi is one of those wide receivers. High school teammate of Chris Leak at Independence High in Charlotte. But he kind of typifies the problems of this wide receiving corps for Georgia. He has suffered from drop passes all year long.
And it doesn't appear that they got some guys that ran track and they did everything in high school, but don't look like they got game-breaking speed out here in the SEC.
2nd and short. Nick Jones over the ball. Stafford hands it off. That's the fullback, Brandon Sutherland. California Southern Cal undefeated so far in the Pac-10. 1st down and 10. Stafford sidearm. Found Sutherland to the 43 on 1st down.
How good has that defense been in the 4th quarter? Well, look what they've produced and the other team has produced. Not allowed a touchdown in the 4th quarter. They've almost outscored the other teams in the 4th quarter, producing 11 points themselves versus 19 given up.
Well, over the course of the year, this defense, including today's touchdown run, has given up only 6 offensive touchdowns. Remarkable. Here's the handoff to Lumpkin. It'll be 3rd and 2 or 3. Tony Joyner makes the tackle.
3 on the play. Brought down by number 32, Justin Tull.
3rd and 2. As a longtime observer of college football, I feel qualified to say this is a big one.
And if it comes real close on 4th down, might they consider it on 4th down too?
Didn't get it. Sutherland still fighting, but he didn't get it. It'll be 4th and a Mark Richt decision.
Yeah, less than a yard, it looks like, first glance. You got to have help from that offensive line to get push on these plays. You just can't do it because Sutherland's strong. He squats a lot. He power cleans a lot, but you can't run through 5 guys. And Jarvis Moss is right there and saying, you ain't moving.
11:34 to go. Do you like this play?
I think he's got to do it. They're just not getting enough yards. They got to take their chance here.
They slip it to the fullback, and he didn't get it. Whoa. Let's see what kind of spot. This will be really close, and it's a right foot spot.
You bet. He sure did. Now remember, if this is reviewable. 1st down plays are reviewable.
Oh, this is really going to be close. I think he got a favorable spot. And they will call the chain, obviously.
Interesting to give that ball to your fullback on that play again. You can tell who they believe in on these short yardage plays. Sutherland honks up in there one time.
Tough to see the ball in the...
Sure was. Spot was a first down.
Right foot spot.
Right foot spot from that side. Remember, this is reviewable, though. I don't know if we saw enough right there to even, you know, you can't change it from what we saw so far. Ground level shot at it.
A lot of bodies in there, Gary.
Yep.
Really tough to tell. There's the spot, and Georgia keeps possession of the ball. Stafford under pressure, has a man open, and he drops the ball.
Same guy. Martrez Milner, number 87, makes a good move on the play. Kind of gives a head fake. Watch him give a head fake on Joyner, comes across, ball is thrown perfectly this time. This isn't a one-handed catch. This is a two-handed breadbasket. When you're down 14 points and you just made 4th and inches, you got to make that catch. And nobody knows it more than he does. I mean, I understand that.
2nd and 10. Blitz. Stafford has a man open. Massaquoi. First down, Georgia to the 32-yard line. Guy's got a gun. He really can fire it.
I haven't seen many people throw a football like this. Ryan Smith was on the coverage this time. Tried to get a little cute with Massaquoi. Tries to jam him. Massaquoi goes right around him, and this time the ball is thrown right at the number. Couldn't drop that one if you wanted to. It would have been embedded right in the one.
Massaquoi is out after the 21-yard gain. Mikey Henderson goes wide to the left. From the 31, it's first down. Again, a play fake. Again, down the middle. And again, a drop.
No. Got Chuck Knobloch disease right now.
You got to be kidding me.
Those are the booing fans of Georgia right now, wide open. Sometimes it just gets in your head, and right now, for Martrez Milner, it's in his head.
Now the backup tight end is Trip Chandler. Milner did not play in the last game, and now as he comes off, that's kind of a nice moment as the Georgia fans directly behind the Georgia bench give him a little bit of vocal encouragement. Lumpkin to the 26-yard line. And I can just feel 12 teams with one defeat around the country.
Exactly.
The phrase, "you got to be kidding me," comes to mind. Here's Stafford. Flag down. Pass is thrown into trouble. Intercepted.
Yeah, there was a flag out there, but as Stafford tried to throw that away, he didn't get it out wide enough.
And the flag is at the 35.
Personal foul, face mask, number 70 on the offense. That penalty will be declined. 1st and 10, Florida.
Well, it was in the offensive line.
Nick Jones, the center that time, who's been matched up all day inside against Marcus Thomas and Joe Cohen. He gets the call on the play. Referee makes the call. Now Stafford tries to throw it away off his back foot. And there's Reggie Lewis, comes right up there and gets a 5th turnover of the football game.
Florida's got it back with a 21-7 lead. We've got 9:34 to play in this one. First down, Chris Leak. Rolls right after the play fake, flicks it out, caught. And a little tap dance at the 10-yard line by Andre Caldwell, who has 2 touchdowns today, one on a reverse and the other on a 40-yard catch. 2nd and 6.
The Georgia defense, even though they've given up points, I've been talking about that, came into this game ranked 2nd in the SEC in yards giving up, only 267 yards a game. And even though it's looked bad against the offense, they've only given up 263 all football game.
And Tim Tebow is on the field. Starts right, comes back left. Fumble, ball's out. That is a Georgia recovery.
Tebow attack has not worked. 5 plays, 2 times first and second down, nothing, and now he comes in on second down and coughs it up. It's just a safe up the middle play. Gets hit just as he turns around. It's Danny Verdum Wheeler got it. Number 42, the linebacker from the Sog side, put his helmet right on the football as Tebow was falling forward, and that's a fumble. Wow.
Second turnover for Florida today. Tebow. Keelan Johnson recovered it after Danny Verdun Wheeler made the contact. Timeout, Florida. That's the second timeout they've used. They have 1 remaining. 84,000 in attendance. And Matthew Stafford playing in his first Georgia-Florida game. Quarterback draw again. Scored on this play in the 3rd quarter.
Will they be able to find a way to get him the football?
In other words, you think they're going to throw it to him?
I don't. Well, in the football game, I don't think they'll do it.
Second down. 3 wide right. Stafford in. Oh boy, that was dangerously close.
Yeah.
Numbers 1 and 1 had a near collision at the goal line.
It was a baited play right here. Florida was trying to get Stafford to throw that slant, and Reggie Nelson was playing the slant the whole way. Outside technique from the corner right here. He's going to invite it inside, and look at Nelson run right at the receiver, and that's a drop ball. He felt Nelson and he heard the footsteps on that one.
No, did he ever. A Bulldog became a Gator for just a moment.
Gator arms on that one.
3rd down. Handoff right side. Toward the goal line. Touchdown. Craig Lumpkin with a surge at the 5. In for the score. Brandon Coutu, who's out for the season with a hamstring. Good. Well.
Spread formation. Hand it off. Run it against the best rush defense in football. Runs right through the tackle by Earl, Everett, and Georgia notches the first touchdown against Florida's defense in the 4th quarter this year. 21-14. Georgia's right back in this football game. As Florida misses field goals. They drop the ball on the 15-yard line. Georgia gives Florida free 7 points. It's been both teams giving the other team points.
Brandon James takes the kick. Comes left. Oh, boy. Leak hands it off. They'll go up the middle. Deshaun Wynn into the tackle of Jeff Owens, number 95.
2-yard gain on the play.
Second carry of the game for Deshaun Wynn. How about this, Vern? Second half total offense for Florida. Coming into that play where they gained, 5 yards? 59 yards in the second half. They had 200 at halftime, and Urban wasn't happy. I don't think he'll be pleased with 59 yards plus 5 more.
Same thing happened against Auburn 2 weeks ago.
Sure did.
Second and 6. Coming from the corner. And they pop Leak, but he gets rid of it right about the time he went down, and he is slow getting up.
You can't run the option well if you don't get hit as a quarterback. The only way to eliminate a guy is make that guy tackle you. This time, Leak makes that guy tackle you. Happened to be Verdun Wheeler again, number 42, but that's exactly what you have to do. You have to run it out and make someone take you. That's maybe the best option play Chris Leak's ever run.
You forced me to remind folks that you were a wishbone quarterback.
Yeah, it's first-hand knowledge.
So you're speaking from experience.
Yeah, exactly. You have, on the option, eliminate someone.
On first down, Leak back in the gun. Batted down. Charles Johnson, number 99. They tried to find Bubba Caldwell out on the left wing.
It's happened so many times. If you do not get this guy's arms down on that quick screen, this time, Troutwine, you got to get him down quicker. You can't back up 3 steps and do that. It's just too quick. Those guys are too big defensive ends. You have to attack them at the line of scrimmage.
Chris Leak, 13 of 27 for 150 yards. He has not thrown for more than 200 yards in any of the last 4 games. The numbers have been down. He's gotten 1 interception today. 2nd and 10. Georgia does not appear to be coming. They're bringing 4. Leak in trouble. Shakes the tackle. Flag is down. Leak, or Caldwell rather, on the reverse. Got it to number 5. There's a flag back at the 17-yard line.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't a design reverse. It was going to be one of those sweeps again. Nothing was there. Looked like that flag was so wide it was either a tight end or a wide receiver to the outside. Another penalty. The most penalized team in Division I gets another one. It's supposed to be a sweep to the left side of the field or the bottom of the field for the TV viewers, and never got there. Caldwell did a nice job reversing his field.
Number 75 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Troutwine.
Well, Troutwine couldn't block him on the quick screen, and this time he comes up and he holds, I believe it was the safety, Keelan Johnson, number 30.
Charles Johnson, number 99. Troutwine got him.
Got him too?
Yep. And so,
well, that was a stretch play where you never got to the outside on the play, and the whole Georgia bench was pointing back as soon as that play started.
2nd and 20. Steve Shaw again.
To 6 minutes, 25 seconds. 6 minutes, 25 seconds.
Vern, Urban Meyer has told us repeatedly he is not a fan of the new clock. Today, he's a fan of the new clock. He'd like this one to end right now.
Please start the clock. Well, this game really was kind of lifeless at halftime. And that quick drive by Georgia, highlighted by the 13-yard run by Matthew Stafford, ignited the crowd. Here's the handoff up the middle. It will be 3rd down. Tony Taylor, who has an interception today, gets a tackle on that play. Percy Harvin. Pretty surprising, no pass plays called. I mean, it's been all runs here. Well, the first down pass out to the outside to Caldwell. Since then, they've been trying to run and pick up first downs. Deshaun Wynn splits wide to the right. Leak in the spread. 3 down for the Bulldogs. They rush only 3, drop 8. Coverage. The pass complete. And Dallas Baker avoids the first tackle from Asher Allen, but he is stopped at the 26. It will be 4th down. Keelan Johnson, number 30, got there.
Georgia played great zone defense. They took advantage of the 3rd and 20 and just let it happen in front of them and forced Dallas Baker to catch the ball in the middle of the field, exactly where you want him to.
So the Bulldogs are going to get the ball back with just under 5 minutes remaining, and they have all 3 timeouts left.
Wow.
Mikey Henderson, if he gets a chance to return it, can scoot. Line drive. Wilbur with a poor punt. Hops out of bounds. It does negate the return. But that's a 36-yard punt. Nothing on the return. We go back to New York. Once again, here's Tim.
Bernie, Gary, to sort out the ACC Atlantic Division. This is on 3rd and goal from the 4. North Carolina's Joe Daly picked off. John Abadi of Wake has it. The Demon Deacons continue their magical season with a 7-point win. They're now atop the Atlantic Division along with Boston College. Those 2 play at BC next week.
All right, Tim, 21-14 here. 4:50 to go. Blitz. Stafford, play fake. Got him. Brandon Seiler came right up the middle. Middle linebacker, number 40.
Play action pass. Georgia only sends out 2 people that time. Max protection, couldn't pick it up. Seiler right there, okay? Inside blitz, comes free. Sutherland tries to get out late, but no time for Stafford to make any vision downfield.
Well, the last time a true freshman led Georgia to victory in this game, 1945. Oh, it's a pretty pass, but Massaquoi was well defended.
I thought I saw his jersey get a tuck on that one.
I thought I saw the same thing.
Ryan, well, that's why you said well defended. Ryan Smith ISO'd on Massaquoi. See if he doesn't grab his jersey just a bit right here. As he goes inside, there's the tug on the jersey. That could have been called.
3rd and 17. Only 2 men split wide. Play action. Stafford across the middle, Massaquoi. Defended again by Ryan Smith. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, now Georgia has all 3 of their timeouts left, so with 4 minutes to go, they can punt this thing and get it back. Stafford with a gun. Throws it in there, and Massaquoi can't get it again. You know, it looked like Ryan Smith. Did he have his hand on his arm again there? Pretty tricky little corner by Ryan Smith. He's good. You know, if you can hold and get away with it, that's good coverage.
Now you think about the impact he's had taking advantage of the new NCAA rule, which allows a player to graduate if they, or rather to transfer if they have graduated. And he is a graduate of the University of Utah, where he played for Urban Meyer. 4th down. Reggie Nelson is now back instead of Brandon James. So here's Mr. Everything. Oh, dangerous catch. No flag, and Nelson's down at the 27-yard line. Flag comes roaring in from way downfield.
There was no foul on the play. The low block was at the tackle. Therefore, it was a legal hit. It'll be 1st and 10, Florida.
Look at the big 3 rivals, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida State. Gators have never won 6 straight against these teams. Leak under center.
Deshaun Wynn at tailback. Let's go at fullback.
Dallas Baker starts in motion. They give it to Wynn. He comes left. He's got some room. Flag again.
Well, you just can't make mistakes like that when you're trying to kill the clock, to kill the game. You got to get in the huddle and say, guys, anything but a penalty. Downfield, wide receiver, probably Dallas Baker. Was it Baker that went in motion? Or was it downfield, wide receiver for Florida? Didn't see the number that was holding on the play, but you just can't do that.
Holding, number 6 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 1st down.
Cornelius was downfield. I mean, you don't need a touchdown here. You just need a 1st down on the play. Left side of the screen, grabs the jersey. Saw it that time on Brown, Marcus Brown. All you need to do down now is get in the way.
Florida has reached double digits in penalties. That's their 10th.
That one would have iced the game because that was almost a 1st down. Probably would have put the game away.
1st and 13 at the 25. Keyston Moore is the running back now. 2 men wide to the right. Handed off to Keyston Moore. He is popped. Ball's loose.
Absolutely.
Who got it? Florida got it.
Wow. Is that the kind of safety hitting you used to see with the Bulldogs?
I think so. This was a linebacker, Tony Taylor.
And didn't Billy Lasco get the key fumble last year? Pulled out by Taylor. Lasco fell out it before, and Lasco got it again.
Time has been called with 2:55 to go. They will be in Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Baker. That gets to the 35-yard line. This is Deshaun Wynn, Jeff Owens, 95. Leak with the option. They reverse it. Bring it near side. No way!
Face mask.
And a flag. This might give Florida the first down.
Quentin Moses does a great job of staying at home on the play. But did he get the face mask accidentally on the reverse? How about that play, 3rd and 3 with the ball game on the line?
Yeah.
Incidental face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. It'll result in a first down.
Listen, he followed his assignment, stayed at home, turned him in, made the tackle, and his hand slips up off the ball for just an incidental brushed against it. I mean, it was so small. I'd like to see it one more time because that flag came from the Georgia bench. Let's look. Can we look at that one more time? Huge call.
Wow.
Has it on the ball, comes up and touches the face mask.
There certainly was never a grip.
You know, Caldwell helped it by turning his head to kind of almost influence the call on the play.
First down and 10. Barring a turnover, that should do it. Georgia can stop the clock one more time.
Wow.
With the call, Mick Huber of the Florida Radio Network.
Twin receivers to the left. Rayleigh and Harris, and twins to the right, but it's a running play to Lumpkin. He loses the ball. It's a fumble, and the Gators are going to pick it up, and they're going to score a touchdown as the Gators got a touchdown by Ray McDonald, who picked it up and returned it for a touchdown.
2nd and 6. Georgia out of timeouts. Hand off. Deshaun Wynn, he comes near side. And the clock will continue to wind down under 2 minutes.
Hope Georgia has a chance to get the ball back.
3rd down. Timeout. That is Florida's last timeout. Scored on a reverse and also caught a touchdown pass from Chris Leak of 40 yards.
Yeah, they were nice. Remember, the first one was off a play-action pass. Came on the reverse first in the first quarter of this game. And then the next one right down the middle of the field on a play-action pass. Caldwell's been used in a lot of different ways in this offense. With the wide receivers carry the ball as much as the running backs in the Urban Meyer offense.
And so Florida leads by 7 points, 21-14, 3rd and 4. Wynn coming left. Fights off the tackle and picks up a first down. Ramarcus Brown with the contact. And that contact was short of the first down marker.
Sure was. Looked like he almost ran through 2 tackles here on this one. Comes up, kind of an arm tackle. He dodges one, and he runs over Brown for the second one. Deshaun Wynn, who's such a bowling ball type body. You saw him out there in practice. I mean, he's a huge body.
And a report from Tim in New York that USC did not convert the 2-point play. It's 33-31 with 7 seconds to go. There's the kneel down by Chris Leak.
And with that USC loss, they run the table. They're going to be standing up and say, we deserve to play for the national championship. Georgia is going to make a strong argument. Excuse me, Florida's going to make a very strong argument about it.